Money, it affects our everyday life. But how do we make more of it? Manage it. And make sure we make the most of our money. Welcome to Money Mindful, a podcast to teach and support you as you learn to manage your money.
Well, hello and welcome to the Money Mindful podcast. I am your host, Megan Jean Smith. I am a money mindset and life coach for women. I work with women one-on-one, and the women I work with are ready to work on themselves to make their good life great. I actually help you break up with not enough mentality and teach you the tools you need to live a life that is with enough time and enough money and enough confidence. I run a 6-month in-depth one-to-one coaching program, and it has everything and more to create this. So before we get into the podcast, I want to let you know if this sounds like something that you are really interested in. I would like to invite you to book a consult with me through my website and learn more about that. Learn what it would be like to work with me. Okay, so enough of that. I want to jump straight in to talking all about the Abundance Mindset Toolkit that I have made for you. If you didn't listen last week, and you're a new time listener, welcome, but you need to press stop now and go back and listen to last week's episode. This episode is part of 5 episodes actually altogether that I'm doing on the Abundance Mindset Toolkit. I've created an Abundance Mindset Toolkit for you. It has 10 practical but really powerful, guys, exercises to rapidly shift you out of scarcity mindset. And it's free. It's a totally free, super hot resource that I have made for you that you can download from my website. Okay, you just have to go to moneymindful.com.au/abundant mindset. And in the toolkit are my top 10 exercises for shifting into abundance mindset. And this week and over the next 3 weeks, I'm going to take you through 4 of those exercises in a little bit more detail on the podcast. But there are another 6 exercises in the toolkit available to you. You just have to go and download it. So make sure you do that. And if you've already done that, and you're looking at exercise number 1, and maybe you're thinking, I want more clarity about that, you're totally in the right place because I'm going to go over that today. Okay, so exercise 1 in the toolkit is called I Have More Than Enough for Today. And just before I jump into that, I want to let you know that one of the main areas that I coach on with my one-on-one clients is shifting out of scarcity mindset into abundance mindset. And it shows up in so many different ways. It can be to do with your self-concept. It can be to do with how you think about yourself, how you show up in the world, like whether you think that you're good enough, or maybe you feel like you are good enough in some areas of your life, but in other areas you lack confidence. This is scarcity mindset. I'm just putting a label on it, scarcity mindset, but we can call it by a different name, right? Like it might be a feeling of just a feeling in your body, like feeling inadequate. Okay, feeling insufficient in some way. It doesn't mean you're necessarily saying I'm not good enough, but it often shows up with areas like money, for instance, where you say things like, I don't have enough, or you think I don't have enough money, right? It's a state of being, this scarcity mindset, and my clients learn the tools how to shift out of this, right? But there's exercises that you can do do that as well. I mean, it's a lot more, the work that I do with my clients one-on-one is a lot more advanced, but this work in this toolkit is good enough. It's enough for you to be able to turn down the dial on scarcity, because we're not trying to turn it off. We're not trying to switch it off. Everybody has elements of scarcity mindset, okay? It's not that we need to live a life where we never think a negative thought or a thought about us that brings up a feeling of inadequacy or insufficiency. No, that's fine. That's going to happen. But what we want to be able to do is identify that when it happens, be able to label it for what it is. Oh yeah, I'm just in some scarcity mindset right now. No big deal. But it's not having a positive effect on my life. It's not creating the results that I want. So let's turn the dial down on scarcity and turn the volume up on abundance. Now, one of the ways that you can do that is by changing how you think. All right. And that's what exercise 1 is all about. And it's called I Have More Than Enough for Today. And it's on page 4 of the toolkit. Now, our thoughts create our results. Now, what I mean by that is that the way we think creates the way that we feel. So if you have a thought, I'll just give you an example, something like, I'm not really a confident person. How do you think a person who thinks I'm not really a confident person feels? They probably don't feel very confident, right? Like they might feel inadequate, or they might feel shy, or they might feel afraid, right, to speak up. It can there's not one specific emotion. It shows up for people in different ways. But let's go with maybe it's a feeling of inadequacy, right? And so at work, you get asked to do a presentation, for example. But you think that you're not a very confident person, so you feel inadequate. So when you write the presentation and when you show up and you do that presentation, most likely the actions that you're going to take come from that feeling of being inadequate. So maybe when you stand up and do the presentation, you're not standing up tall. Maybe you're not giving eye contact to all the people in the room. Maybe there was this one idea that you really wanted to present, but you didn't present it because you had thoughts about it that maybe it wasn't good enough. So the result that you create is that you show up like a person who's not confident. Like you literally create the evidence for that, right? And because when you're standing doing that presentation feeling inadequate and you're sort of like hiding yourself and you're hunched over and you're not really standing tall or giving eye contact or really standing behind your presentation and being really confident about it, that's what you create, right? And then people get bored watching it. They're looking away and then you're thinking, see, I knew I wasn't very confident. Like I can't do this, right? So can you see how it's the thought that creates the result that we get? So if you're thinking a thought like, I don't have enough money, what happens is, again, it's a feeling of, it could be a feeling of feeling stressed. It could be a feeling of insufficient, right? Like you feel lack in some way. And so then what you do is maybe it's different for everyone, right? But I'm just coming up with examples. The way that you act when you feel insufficient is maybe you don't spend money on something that might help you make more money because you don't want to lose the money that you have now because you're feeling in that insufficiency. You're feeling that feeling of insufficiency and you think that you can't create more money because you feel like you don't have enough. So you hold on to what you have, and in some instances, that might mean that you don't pay for something that could actually help you make more money, right? Like you don't buy that book and learn about investing, or you don't do that course that potentially could get you a promotion at work because you're building on your skill base, because you think, oh, I don't want to spend $5,000 on learning how to, I don't know, do XYZ. But potentially you've just blocked yourself from advancing in your career to earn more money. Right? This is how it shows up for us. When what we think, we create that. We create those results in our life. So why can't we just think I've got more than enough money and then suddenly, there's buckets of money at our front door? Well, it doesn't quite work like that. We need to believe what we're thinking to create the results of that thinking. So this is where a lot of people get stuck, or like a common mistake people make with things like affirmations. Nothing wrong with affirmations, right? But if you're saying every day, I have more than enough money as an affirmation or as a thought that you're practicing, but actually you just totally don't believe it, you won't create it, because you'll still be in the feeling of that insufficiency of not having enough money. So what you want to do is you want to stop practicing that thought, I don't have enough money, right? We want to turn the dial down on scarcity, remember? So we're not switching it off, we're not resisting it, we're not pretending we never have those thoughts. We're just turning the dial down on the thoughts that we have that create that feeling of insufficiency, that feeling of lack and not enough. And we're turning up the dial on abundance. So maybe you don't believe I have more than enough money. Maybe you don't believe that thought, but maybe you could believe the thought, I have more than enough money for today. Right? Like, is that believable to you? Like, can you look in your wallet now and be like, yeah, I've got my debit card in there. I know that I've got $100 in my account, or whatever it is, right? Or I've got enough money in my account this week to pay for my bills. Yeah, actually, that's true. I do have more than enough money today. Right? What's the feeling when you think that thought, I have more than enough money today? How do you feel in your body? Right? Because most likely you're not going to feel insufficient. Like that thought, I have more than enough money today, will create a different feeling for you. Now, maybe it's just a neutral feeling. Maybe it's a feeling of sufficient. Maybe you feel sufficient when you say that thought, when you think that thought, I have enough money for today. But look at that. You've just shifted yourself instantly from feeling insufficient into feeling sufficient. And just a hot tip, feeling sufficient is actually abundance. Like if you feel sufficient, you've got enough, right? That's abundance. So you can apply this to anything in your life. Now, maybe you want to lose 9 kilos, right? Maybe you want to lose 9 kilograms and you're thinking a thought like, I can just never keep the weight off, right? Something like that. I can never keep the weight off. That's a scarcity mindset thinking thought. But could you practice a thought like, it's possible that I could lose weight, right? Or it's possible I could learn a different way to lose weight. Or it's possible I could lose 9 kilos, right? Like just open the door to another way of thinking. It's possible is a beautiful little 2 words to put at the start of what you're thinking. Like it's possible I do have enough money, right? It can really instantly shift you into feeling differently about the same circumstance. Now, there are certain things that we think that they are factual, Okay, it is factual. Like maybe you earn $80,000 and you want to earn $100,000, let's say. But thinking that thought repeatedly, like I earn $80,000, you're recreating that in your mind, like you're building that pathway. And so you'll see all the evidence for you earning $80,000. Now, we don't have to fight that or resist that or pretend that that's not something that's factual in your life. But if you want to earn $100,000, you want to be practicing the thoughts that help you create $100,000. So it's possible I could earn $100,000. I'm learning how to increase my income. It's possible to make more money. There might be ways to make more money that I don't know about yet. Right? All those thoughts straight away open the door to possibility of creating more money, as opposed to just staying on the same soundtrack over and over of, yeah, but I only earn $80,000 in my job. That's the most I can make. Right? That's fixed. That makes that thought more powerful. Like it creates more energy and more evidence on that thought. So we want to, again, dial down thinking the thoughts that create the results that we don't want in our life. And we want to dial up thinking the thoughts that create the results that we do want in our life. But remember, a great stepping stone is to practice thoughts that we already believe now. So maybe you don't believe that you can make $100 like right at $100,000 in your income right now, but maybe you're willing and able to believe the thought, it's possible that I could figure out how to make $100,000 income. Right? Just open the door to possibility, and also practice thoughts that you believe that will get you closer to the result that you want. If the thought that, if I earn $100,000 a year just is like completely unbelievable to you and you just feel totally disconnected to it. Like this is the example I'm trying to get, because we can practice new thoughts that we don't quite believe yet, but we just keep practicing them until we do. Right? That's a pathway to it. It's not like you can't practice a thought that you don't fully believe, but if it just feels completely far-fetched, create a stepping stone for yourself, a stepping stone thought. So that's exercise 1. I have more than enough for today. Right? Maybe you can't believe I have more than enough money all the time, but maybe you can believe and practice I have more than enough money for today. So give that exercise a go. If you haven't already, go to the website moneymindful.com.au/abundant mindset. Download the toolkit. In the toolkit, there are 10 exercises/concepts that you can learn to shift out of abundant mindset. You don't want to shift out of that, to shift out of scarcity mindset into abundant mindset. And over the next 3 weeks, I'll be going over in more detail another 3 of the exercises. Before we wrap up, I wanted to tell you again about the Mind Over Money Masterclass series that I'm participating in. My friend Lay Lopez has brought together 28 plus top experts and influencers for this complimentary training series. It's on removing prosperity blocks and managing the mindset and the energy to create wealth and abundance in your life. It is free. It's happening from July 5th, so that's next Monday, to July 18th. You need to register for it. I sent out an email to you last week with the registration details. I will send out another email this week in case you missed that, or if you're new to sign up to my email list. There are over 28 speakers over the 2 weeks, and we're covering some really epic topics. So owning your financial future, how to become more magnetic to money, tapping into abundance, how invisible energies in your space can block wealth. I will be talking about 3 things you must know to create wealth and abundance in life. This is all such good stuff to help you shift out of scarcity mindset and into abundance and mindset. Exactly what I've been talking about over the last couple of weeks and will be continuing to talk about over the next couple of episodes. So make sure you're on my email list so you can get the details to register for this amazing summit. Okay, until I speak to you again, have an amazing week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Money Mindful podcast. For more info, visit moneymindful.com.au. For future episodes, be sure to subscribe. And remember, the information in this podcast is of a general nature only and does not take into account your personal circumstances or goals. Please seek professional advice for your own financial needs. Remember to have fun along the way.